Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. DCeased returns this February with The Unkillables, a 3-issue miniseries written by Tom Taylor with artwork by Carl Mostert. So this is going to be a sequel to the smash hit series of this year, DCeased, which was kind of like Marvel Zombies, but at DC, but actually a lot better. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm very excited for this sequel. This is going to be about how the villains and the anti-heroes respond after the heroes stop or fail to stop this zombified disease anti-life thing happening, right? So I'm really excited for this. It seems like it's going to be a team led by Deathstroke and Red Hood. So fans of those characters definitely want to check this one out. But DCeased was one of DC's standout titles of the year. I really loved it. I thought it was amazing, so I'm really excited for this announcement. The Green Lantern Season 2 officially has been solicited for February. Of course, Grant Morrison returning, Liam Sharp returning. In fact, it's the exact same creative team. So if you liked The Green Lantern, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. Of course, don't forget about the Black Stars 3-issue series that's going on right now, which is kind of taking place in between Season 1 and Season 2. But it is officially called The Green Lantern Season 2. So there you go. Justice League has a new writer. The new writer, post Scott Snyder, post James Tynion, has been announced. As of Justice League number 40 in February, Robert Venditti is going to be the new writer. He's going to be joined by Doug Mahnke and Aaron Lopresti and others on the artwork. I think Robert Venditti's a great writer. I think he does a great job on books like Freedom Fighters. I think he's did a great job on Hawkman this year alongside Brian Hitch. But to be honest, there's some really big shoes to fill. I absolutely 100% think that. So it's going to be really hard to follow up this Scott Snyder, James Tynion run. But I do want to point out that Martian Manhunter's back. So be on the lookout for that. One of his first stories is going to deal with the Justice League versus the Eradicator. So that's kind of interesting to me. Justice League Dark, issue number 20 in February, has a new writer, and it's Ram V. Ram V, along with James Tynion. James Tynion is going to continue to co-plot the next story arc, but Ram V will then be taking over as the sole writer. He's already done some work on the Justice League Dark annual that recently came out, and on Catwoman fill-in issues here and there. Ram V is an absolutely amazingly talented writer. He's the writer of These Savage Shores, one of the best books of 2019, so I'm very excited for this. This is a great book for him to jump onto, and it also heralds the return of Animal Man. So be very excited about that. He's going to be joined by Kyle Hotz and Gilliam March and others as far as the artwork goes. Leviathan Dawn is coming in February. That's right. Bendis and Maleev are back with another Leviathan-centric miniseries. Joy. Leviathan Dawn starts in February. I wasn't the biggest fan of Event Leviathan. If you follow the weekly comic book review, you know how I feel about it. So, man, another book with a bunch of people talking, some amazing artwork, and really there's nothing that matters outside of that. But that's just me. I don't know. Speaking of Bendis and disappointment, Superman Villains is a one-shot that's going to follow the Superman Heroes one-shot. So Superman Heroes one-shot is Superman is going to reveal his identity to the public, right? For some who knows reason. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. I'm not trying to just bash in on Bendis' Superman or whatever, but this is going to be a one-shot focusing in on the villain's response to Superman coming out as Clark Kent. So I don't know. The Heroes one-shot is going to focus in on the hero's response, and this is the villain's response. I don't know. I don't care. It's Brian Michael Bendis, Matt Fraction, Greg Rucka, and Jody Hauser are joining him on this one-shot, so that's kind of neat. I don't know. Some great news as far as Bendis DC goes is as far as Young Justice number 13 goes, David F. Walker will be joining as a co-writer. Now we know that Naomi's supposed to be joining up into Young Justice. So that's very appropriate. David F. Walker co-created the character along with artist Jamal Campbell and Brian Michael Bendis. So I'm really excited to see David F. Walker come in. I really think that Bendis and Walker did an amazing job on Naomi, and I would love to see his input on something like Young Justice, which to me started out really exciting and then kind of just petered out there just a little bit. Flash number 750 is coming in February. That's right. DC's reverting back to original numbering to have a giant like 80-page special or whatever, Flash number 750. It's going to be just like a Detective Comics 1000 or an Action Comics 1000. They're doing this in January with a Wonder Woman 750. So here we go. Flash number 750. Expect decades-themed variants. Expect a whole bunch of stuff, including a main story by Joshua Williamson and Jeff Johns and Francis Manapul, and along with a whole bunch of other creators coming back to do some really interesting runs, or from people who have done interesting runs on The Flash to come back and do a little bit of story here and there. But of course, it's going to be Williamson's baby. Flash 750, a big $10 celebration of all things Flash. Batman Pennyworth, R.I.P. is a one-shot coming out in February, written by James Tynion and Peter Tomasi, the current Bat architects, the Bat-to-tex. That doesn't really work. Anyway, this is going to be a one-shot dealing with the ramifications of the death of Alfred. Now, I have heard from many sources that the death of Alfred was something that was just meant to be kind of like a fool you now, like you thought he was dead, but he's really not, because don't forget, Psycho Pirate is involved. But apparently, because of the reaction, how it helped uptick the sales of Batman, they're going to let it be like this for a while, but do not be surprised if in this one shot, they leave a thread there for Alfred's eventual return. We know it's coming, right? We know it's coming. Anyway, for Marvel Comics in February, we have a Falcon and Winter Soldier book. It makes sense. There's a Winter Soldier Falcon TV show on Disney Plus debuting, so of course we got to have it. Derek Landy, Federico Facintini is going to be the creative team on that one, so expect a Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's probably going to be a miniseries. I don't know how long it's going to last. It may be anywhere from 6 to 12 to 18 issues. We'll see what happens, right? Speaking of miniseries, though, over at Marvel, Vita Ayala and Claire Rowe are doing a Nebula miniseries. Seems a bit odd in the placement. It seems like you want to definitely do a Nebula series when there's about to be a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie or something. Maybe this was originally tied into the original release date of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which, of course, that's still a ways off, but it's going to be really cool to see Vita Ayala take on the character of Nebula. I really love Ayala's work. I think they are a fantastic writer. Recently, they have absolutely done a fantastic job with the first issue of Morbius, so I'm excited about this. I'm not the hugest Nebula fan, to be honest with you, but yeah, I'll check it out. Those Jen Bartel covers are definitely going to be worth it. And Gwen Stacy gets her own series, written by Christos Gage with Todd Knock on the artwork. Gwen Stacy getting her own series. This is kind of like a Gwen Stacy Year 1 origin story for Gwen Stacy. Like, we really need that. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. But there is an Amazing Mary Jane book, so why not throw out a Gwen Stacy book? I don't know. It seems a little weird, right? The Rock shared an image of a Black Adam written. It was drawn by Jim Lee. It's concept artwork of The Rock as Black Adam with the date December 22nd, 2021. So that means supposedly we're getting this Black Adam movie at the end of 2021. I still think that it would make a whole lot more sense to put The Rock as Black Adam in the Shazam sequel. Maybe that's still the case. There's no official title attached to this, just a date and an image. Do not trust the date. They change this stuff all the time. However, the image is really cool, and I guess our first look officially of what The Rock could look like as Black Adam. I think that's great casting, right? Let's go. We talked a little bit not too long ago about Beverly Hills Cop 4, about how Eddie Murphy was going to return. They wanted to do Beverly Hills Cop Part 4. Well, Netflix has picked it up and they're going to air it there, right? It seems like Netflix is trying to make some moves right now. They kind of just got sideswiped by Disney Plus, though they should have seen that one coming for sure. But Axel Foley will be returning in Beverly Hills Cop 4. On Netflix. Will be a Netflix exclusive, a Sin City TV show. So somebody somewhere is trying to develop a Sin City TV show, and there even is the possibility of Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez returning in some kind of role as maybe producers or like a creative influence or directors or writers or something like that. There you go. I grew up a Sin City fan. I've since kind of fallen out of it, but that's very exciting news for Sin City fans. I think that Sin City, the way that the stories are already set up, it's kind of like an anthology. It's a great idea for a TV series, to be honest with you. The new Sonic trailer debuted this week. So the original Sonic trailer came out, and they tried to make Sonic look as realistic as they could, and it really pissed a lot of people off. A lot of people were outraged online, and Sony went through, it's Sony, right? Well, whoever it is, they went through and they actually changed it. They changed the animation to make it look more like the video game Sonic. The trailer actually looks kind of cool. It looks cooler than the first trailer, and that doesn't have anything to do with the CG on Sonic himself. I saw something on social media that a friend of mine posted. It almost makes you think, did they do this on purpose? Did they put out that mock trailer with a weird-looking Sonic on purpose just to raise the awareness of this film? Because to me, right now, this movie seems like a bigger deal because of all that than it would have been. If this was the first trailer, it probably would have came and went, and most people wouldn't have even mentioned it or thought about it or talked about it, right? But because of the controversy and the outrage and the change, I don't know. I think this may have been part of the plan. I don't know. I just don't trust anybody, right? Who knows, right? And a Lovecraft trilogy. So what is it? It's something House. Shriek House, Spectre House, something like that. Spectre Vision. So that's Elijah Wood's production studio. So Elijah Wood is producing this new movie, Color Out of Space, starring Nicolas Cage, among others. It debuts in early 2020. The trailer for that is out right now. It's based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. I actually thought the trailer looked cool. I thought it looked neat. If this movie is successful, what Wood and Company want to continue to do is basically a trilogy of H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, the second of which being the Dunwich Horror, which has actually caused the Dunwich Horror comic book that IDW did like 8-10 years ago to start jumping up just a little bit, which is so weird to me because I'm like, y'all realize I didn't start with the comic, right? Anyway, I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan, and to be honest, most H.P. Lovecraft adaptations and movies, they kind of suck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, Reanimator's the best of them, and Reanimator is not really in line with the vision of Lovecraft. It's silly and kooky, and so is From Beyond. Anyway, Color Out of Space seems really cool. Dunwich Horror is a great story, so I really hope it works. I really hope this movie is successful. I hope it's good, and I would love to see a trilogy of terror based on H.P. Lovecraft tales. I think that's really, really cool. That's what we got for you this week. What do we got coming up here at PCP? Well, tonight there is a Rockin Robbie live. That's right, the live stream tonight, 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So be here. We'll chat about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. And I'll be showing off my brand new Tri-Spider Slayer that I just got. This is like a middle school Robbie's dream come true. I finally got a hold of one. We'll be showing that off tonight and opening up some Spider-Man toys from the 90s based on that 90s animated series, because me personally, that's what I've been watching the most of right now on Disney Plus. Is the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. You got Disney Plus? What are you watching? What are you loving? Check us out. Let me know in the comments down below. Did a live stream this last weekend with Jim Mint Collectibles, Comics with Bueller, 90s MF Comics, and Fire Guy Ryan. Really cool panel. We talked a spoiler-filled discussion about this last week's new comic books. It was so much fun. It was the first time I've ever worked or met Jim Mint, or any of the other cats that are on there. It was a great show. I'll throw a link down below in case you missed out. Check it out. If you didn't miss out and you watched it, let us know what you thought about it, and maybe watch it again. It was really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more projects with Jim Mint, Comics with Bueller, and the rest. It's so much fun. And of course, the weekly comic book review late Tuesday night, where I'm going to cover anywhere between 30 to 40 comics. In fact, we're going to be talking about what I'll be covering tonight on the live stream. So check us out tonight for Rockin Robbie Live at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Thank you so much for your support. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living, y'all.